This is how my regionals competition went. I would say it went pretty good overall. This is my first climb. It's on yellow. The start's pretty juggy. Just a couple easy clips from some jugs. Pretty tiny feet that you're standing on as you keep going up. And good clips, layback positions. Getting in good heel hook on some dual tacks, able to get up to the next hold. Trying to clip from lower down because the next hold gets super slopey, having to really, lean into that and create some opposition with my right foot to be able to reach up to the next couple crimps. Next couple crimps are super good, really nice to make a good clip off of those holds with good feet as well. But then this next part gets pretty tricky trying to get on top of this kind of side pull thing. Once I was able to get above it, it was tricky kind of cross through and, lay back onto some small crimps and then having to reach up with the right hand, kind of guessed on it, able to have to like kick my foot out super far and really just trust the holds and that my foot will stick, as well as trying not to get my foot caught under the rope. So just in case I do fall, not taking a whipper and flipping upside down. Once I was able to get this foot stuck across, it felt pretty stable, so that let me kind of stand up into it and get a good clip. This part was probably the hardest. I mean, besides the part where I fall. But, just trying to find it was a good place to rest and chalk up before I had to continue on. Really just, grabbing this crimp and trusting those big feet. Even though they are big, they are pretty slippery and very angled, so it's hard to trust. After making that good clip, I just kind of kept on going up, and then I was forced to make a super tricky move with a really bad dual text foot over to the right, and I somehow managed to hang on with my right hand by three fingers. After that, I transitioned and got my foot up where my hand used to be, and then as I went to the next hold, my foot popped and I fell. Onto the second climb. This climb was my style. I really liked it. It was a lot of um, hand jams, and they felt super good. The holds were, although they were dual text on the outside, inside they definitely had a lot of grip, at least in the beginning. A lot of people felt early on this one, so I was a little sketched out when I first got to it. But once I got above those first two clips, I felt pretty good. These next two holds are super good, super big, but it's definitely a really scary left hand cross through to like right above my right because if I fell, that just would have been almost a ground fall, just with how much slack that you're given. And then throwing up left was pretty good. Was able to keep my hands on the wall even though I had to cut my feet and able to get a good position to chalk up. Then I kept going out left to some really good jugs, and I was able just to, hang there for a minute as I found my footing and just tested out the next hand jam, which felt way more slippery for some reason, and I just wasn't able to put a whole lot of trust into it. But I also managed to find this really sick heel toe lock, so I was able to get some really good, shakeouts. And here I'm just trying the crack, but it just doesn't feel super good, and I just really don't want to trust it. But in the end, I just kind of have to go for it, but I don't manage to stick it. Lastly, the third climb was a really cool kind of purple sloper layback as well, similar to the first one, just with slopers instead of crimps. Start was okay. The first two clips were very sketchy, having to really rely on like heel jam in between the first sloper and the wall, which I didn't totally trust, but I just had to kind of go with it. And then Next part's pretty okay. Just, standing into an undercling with volume foot just didn't feel super good, but it was okay. Managing to get like a kind of bicycle in the volume and the holds right below to secure the second clip. I really just had to trust my foot on this super slopey kind of rail that I was able to stand up on, and then match the next hold, which felt like a jug compared to what I was on before. And then I was able to reach over with a far left hand and stick that to secure my third clip. After that, I had to like kind of stand up on those holds and stand on the dual tacks, which wasn't super good, into the most amazing juke I've ever seen, to be honest. And that felt really good, which I was super glad about and was able to let me get the fourth clip. But here is where I was kind of just stumbling around and not really sure what to do, because the next move is like I guess it was supposed to be like a mantle press, but it was two dual techs like sloper crimps, and so it was just very sketchy to do from the position I was in. But somehow, after just like a lot of stressing and struggling, I managed to get like a knee jam in between the wall and that super jug hold I was on earlier to work my hands up the volume onto some crimps that just gave me a little bit of relief. And after this, I didn't really see the clip right above me because it was hanging flipped, so I thought it was just I wasn't supposed to clip it, which could have meant a much larger fall, which would have not been good. And after a little bit of a shakeout on those crimps, I was able to kind of lay back and then reach up towards the jug before I had to make a small kind of dyno cross through, which felt very far to me, even though it really wasn't. I try to static the move, but I realize that the holds just aren't good enough. And then I finally end up seeing the clip, and I make that clip, thankfully, preventing a much bigger fall. I end up just kind of throwing for the move, and I was super sketched out. So even though I didn't really throw, I kind of hit it and just didn't stay on. Thanks for watching me describe my regionals comp, and if you're still here, cool.